Hello, this is Mike with Cornerable Software. In this video, I'm going to show you how to view current RDP sessions in real time, manually disconnect RDP sessions, configure Cornerable to automatically disconnect idle sessions, and generate network-wide RDP session reports. The other day, I had a customer reach out with a request to generate an RDP session report so they could review idle sessions. At that time, I hadn't personally configured RDP session time limits. I took a look at the built-in configuration screens and noticed there is no way to apply rules for users, security groups, or downloaded byte count, a potential indicator of espionage, which severely limits the power of the built-in Windows session time limits. Cornerable removes all of these limitations. Okay, let's get started. First, I want to show you how you can manually monitor and disconnect RDP sessions. From the Explorer view, find the target host under the root host node. Right-click, then select Host Properties. From the Host Properties view, notice there is now an RDP tab. Selecting the tab reveals the current RDP sessions. If the Windows server is not using the agent, this view attempts to connect using either the service credentials or impersonation if configured, then Microsoft's built-in network API is used to query RDP. To see this in action, I'm going to open an RDP session on a test Azure domain controller. Back in Cornerable, notice the new RDP session is now listed. You have two options. You can disconnect the user, which saves the logon session state for later use, then disconnects the session, or you can log off the session, which logs the user off without saving the session state, permanently terminating the session. To disconnect the session, right-click on the session, then click Disconnect. Once clicked, we can see the connection state change to disconnected. To log off the user, right-click on the session, then click Log Off. This time, we can see the connection is terminated and removed from the list. Next, let's schedule the idle sessions to be automatically disconnected, then send a notification to the network administrator notifying them Cornerable has disconnected a user for inactivity. I've created a sample template which can be located in the following location: Templates, Sample Templates, Windows, Accounts. And the template is called RDP Session Monitor. Please note, if the template cannot be found, from the menu bar, select Tools, Create Default Objects, and the template will be created for you. Rather than show you the sample, I'm going to create a new template. From the menu bar, select File, New. Expand Template, Windows Monitors. Scroll down till you find RDP Session Monitor. From the new template view, specify a schedule, for example, every hour. Next, select the Options tab. The view contains read-only column definitions which list out the columns available for filtering. To disconnect users, check the warning trigger. Then click Create New Criteria. I'm going to get a little fancy with the rules here. For warning, I'm going to disconnect users that have been idle for 1 hour. After I apply the rule, the disconnect is configured by assigning the Disconnect Idle RDP Session action. Next, I'm going to check the critical trigger. This time, I'm going to log off users that have been idle for 4 hours, permanently disconnecting the user's session. After I apply the rule, the logoff is configured by assigning the logoff RDP session action. If you'd like to add a rule to check for large downloads, add criteria for the data out column. Specify the number of bytes that must be downloaded to trigger the session disconnect. Next, for demonstration purposes, I'm going to select the User Filters tab to limit the results to accounts other than the administrator account. To limit results to specific groups, check the Validate User Accounts option. Then select the Target Directory Service connection. Next, use the Inclusion and Exclusion drop-downs to select the groups. Please note, if you're monitoring multiple domains and utilizing Active Directory, you will need to create a separate template for each domain. Next, select the Agent tab, then make sure to check Enabled. Next, select the Action tab. Then assign email actions to both the warning and critical drop-downs. Assign the template to target servers or a group of servers, then save. To view the monitor results, from the Explorer view, find your target host. Expand, then expand the Templates node. Find the RDP Session Monitor template, right-click, then select Explore. From the Monitor Status tab, click Execute. Notice there are no results. That's because earlier I configured the template to exclude administrators. If I go back into the template properties and remove the security group filter, then rerun, we can see the full results. On a side note, I tried to allow a regular user to log in with RDP. However, after following Microsoft's documentation to allow non-admin access, I was still unable to connect. Selecting the Detail tab reveals the detailed results in a data table. Selecting the Real-Time tab reveals the current sessions. To create a report of all RDP sessions across all machines, from the menu bar, select File, New. Expand Report, expand Summary Reports, select Summary Report. Select the Template Assignments tab, then assign the RDP Session Monitor template. Select the Options tab, check Re-execute each monitor to execute the template on each assigned host. From the Group By dropdown, select Template. From the Columns dropdown, select RDP Session Monitor. Choose the columns to include. Notice you also have the option to sort by specific columns. Next, assign the host group. Next, go back to the General tab, then click the Auto Generate Name button just to the right of the Name text box. Click Save, then View Report. That's RDP Session Monitoring and Reporting with Corner Bowl Server Manager.